Hello again, another vlog from me. We've got obviously a lot more cases in Spain today. Coronavirus, 11,178, which is really bad. Let's refresh the page. Maybe it's gone up again. You never know. No, thank God for that. You just never know. So 11,178. And if you look at the graph here, total cases, it's going up. Linear, logarithmic. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, it's still going up. It's really steep. Yesterday we had nearly 10,000. Today we've got 11,000. So it's 1,200, something like that has gone up by, which is terrible. I was looking at that just now, or earlier, and I got to thinking, how many of those are where I live? The best way to do that is to get this. This will tell you the Community of Madrid. It's the Autonomous Community of Madrid. There are 4,165 out of 11,178. And I worked that out. It's 37%. Looking at a map of Spain, you can see there with the little red splodge in the middle. That is the Community of Madrid. When I talk about it, that's it. It's not a city. It's like a county or state within Spain. And there's all the other states. So we're talking 37% in that little tiny area. So you can imagine the concentration here is a lot more than it might be elsewhere. So here we go. That's what's happening there. I did go out this morning, by the way. I went to the bank, which was really nice. It was wonderful to be outside and feel the fresh air and all that sort of thing. I was surprised at how many people there were out there. There were a few. Not a lot, but it's not a busy area. They would seem to be just walking dogs. There were a few people going back from the supermarket, me going to the bank, saw one person going to the chemist, so that's what's happening, and sort of otherwise people are home. I went down to a place called Avenida de Europa, and on that road is more or less dead. I did make a video of the walk. I thought it would be interesting to show you, but it's not interesting to show you. My hand was wobbling all over the place and it's very difficult to see. So I'm sorry, it's just not worth showing you. So no, you don't get an interesting video to watch. So that's kind of, I don't know, it does help. I think looking at numbers gives you a bit of a feel for what's going on. And if I click here on this one, you can look at by country what's happening with the virus, which I also find really interesting. If you look at, so Spain is the fourth worst for the number of infections, and if you look per million, we've got 239 per million, which is a higher figure than they have in China, which I didn't notice that before, but wow, that is a big difference. Around us 192, so we have 239. Switzerland has 272, so their per million is more than us, and that's it, I think. So that's after that, it's nobody. So yeah, that. Oh God. Oh no, look, Switzerland, Norway. That's another one. Somebody said me, one of you guys told me in Norway how things are. You're sort of closed in and isolating and things like that, and so good job. I noticed in the States, look, it's only 14.3 per million, which seems really low. I'm sure it's a bit like in Madrid, where you get concentrations in some areas and other areas have, in Spain rather, some areas seem to have very little, if not maybe none. So yeah, so that's that. Now, looking at this as well. I was going to say, wasn't it? The United States. I think what they're doing over there is spot on. I think. I only get the news, so I don't get everything. But from what I've seen, which is quite a lot, I see so lots of isolation. I think I saw the streets of Washington completely empty. They're being, New York, everywhere people are isolating, and they're staying away from restaurants and bars. And I think they're going to close the bars or something. I don't know. I don't get all of it. But it does look like you're doing exactly what you need to do. And you've got 14.3%. Now, I don't know what it is in New York, but here in the US, 14.3. Now, look at the UK, 22.7. And in the UK, the population is very close together. There's very... I've always said to my wife, when it hits the UK, it's gonna spread like wildfire because everybody's so packed in there. You know, Spain has 40 something million, 40 million population, and I think the UK is 50 or 60, I think 60 million, and the Spain is more than twice the size of the UK. So it really is going to go crazy once it takes off. I mean, I don't think you're doing so bad at the moment, but it's really going to hit hard and fast when it does hit you. And I think the government in the UK is absolutely terrible what they're doing. They're crap. They don't seem to be doing anything, little things that I don't think are enough. At least, I mean, you can go out and close the playgrounds, can't you, in the parks? Go and do that. They did. That's one of the first things they did here. Also, one of the first things they did was close the school. Just close the bloody schools. Let the kids catch up next year. It really, if you keep 5 people alive, that's enough. Really, you can't. Well, I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? But that's what I think. But I would also say to people in the UK, and this is what I was saying to my daughter, because she's isolated herself. She lives in Plymouth in the UK. My son's stocked up on food. Things like that. So some people are doing things over there. And I would encourage anybody who's anywhere in the world who their country does not seem to be doing enough, or don't wait. You don't have to wait for the government to do it. You can start self-isolating. So like when you go to work, it's what they say again and again and again and again on the news, is just keep your distance, wash your hands a lot. Don't go where there are people. So, in fact, go from home to work to home, and if you got to go to the shop or something, fine. But like take here. We've got these shops. Alimentación is the name of the type of shop. It's like a corner shop. Now, if you go in there, it's small. You're squashed, very close to people. So if you go in there and buy food, it's not very safe. If you go into the supermarket, you're more spread out and you can sort of stay away from the other people easier and things like that. Okay, so the Alimentación, they're closed. Those little ones are closed and the big ones are open. So when you want your food, go to the big supermarket where you can keep a distance from other people. And when you queue to pay, keep 2 or 3 meters between you and the next person in front of you and behind them. Don't be afraid to tell them to move, because everybody knows there's coronavirus about. They might not have the same opinion as you of what you got to do, but anyway. So that's what's going on there. Let's have a look at the Plymouth in the UK. That's where I'm from, and a little bit. Doesn't tell you, does it? But you can see how fast it's climbing, and it's climbing at about the same rate as Spain, very similar. So don't wait. And how's it going in the United States? I'm sorry, but I like to know these things. I like numbers. Some people are pictures, I'm numbers. Oh my God, I mean, that's like here. Everywhere is the same in the world, and everywhere's going crazy. I won't look at others, but look at it. It's just damn scary. It is. It's like a horror movie. And I think that's a bit of a problem. I think people think of it, it's like a movie. It's like almost like a game. And I wish people... I don't know, my wife doesn't agree, but I feel as if it's like that. I feel as if people are not taking it seriously enough, and they need to, they must. Or I can click on that and sort Switzerland, Norway, Spain, Iran, Estonia, Denmark, South Korea. Okay, China's way down, I suppose. Anyway, so self-isolate, don't wait. I think where was it? Was it the States? They said if you're over 70, do it. You don't have to wait to be told. Just do it yourself. If you've got a crap government like the UK, well, that's your problem. But there are things you can do. Um, so yeah, I'm going to stop there. There's a lot I could say. One thing I did take part last night in the evening applause. It's everybody kind of sticks their head out the window, whatever, opens the window, and you just clap. And it's applauding it was started off on the social media. Somebody fired it off, and it was supposed to be for the health workers. But when I do it, I'm doing it for the army, the police, the people who work in the supermarket, people who work in the chemist, people, the nurses, the doctors, and everybody who's doing it. Not just the people in the hospitals, because it's everybody who's working together to beat this thing, and I think that's wonderful. I do. I'm getting emotional now. I'm going to stop, but but yeah, I mean, so and I suppose thank you to anybody everywhere in the world, all these people doing all these things. I think you're amazing. If you work in the supermarket, you are. Thank you, because you don't know what you're doing. I wish I could put it into words, but I can't. I don't know if I said it at the beginning, by the way, but thank you so much to everybody who watches this. It makes such a difference to me, and I can't put it into words, and I can't really explain why, just that it does. And it helps somehow. So thank you very much, and that's all for today.